Hi, this is Aude. Welcome to my apartment in Montreal. So this is the entryway. It's pretty small and steep, but I redid the stairs a couple of years ago. When I moved in, it was all carpeted and there was some pretty big water damage because people would used to go up and down with their boots. So we couldn't restore the wood, unfortunately, but we painted it. And this is my closet right here. It's pretty big, so I put all my coats in it. Here is just like a little drop-off station. I have a little piece of art that my grandmother made. So when I come in, I see it and I think of her. So right as we enter, we're in the dining room. I picked a pretty big table. I love having dinners with friends, and honestly, in everyday life, this is mostly where I put my coats and my bags in. But I like it oval since it's the place I use to go to the kitchen often. I thought that maybe a rectangle would be in the way sometimes. And I recently put a rug in. I find that it makes it a bit cozier and it adds a bit of texture. I also have like a pretty big mirror. I find that it reflects the light. It makes the room feel bigger. It's a pretty dark room. We don't have any windows here, so I think it works. And just like photography, I love putting lights whenever I can. And I have a little bar here. I put some of my bottles of wines and glasses. And I have like a pretty big book that I borrowed from my grandfather and never gave it back. It's about Expo 67, which was a big event in Montreal. And it's one of the originals. So when you open it, there's tons of images about it. It's pretty nice. It's fun with friends. We can look through it. When you walk off the dining room, you go into the living room, which is my favorite place in the apartment. It's separated in two parts, basically because of the arch right there, which is original to the place. And I really wanted to make two separate rooms, so I painted this half blue. It's like the darkest part of the room, so I liked it cozier, so I embraced it and painted it a bit darker. We have this armchair, which my grandfather made. I had an uncle who moved out and I got to keep it. It's funny because we see them in stores right now, but this is like the original mid-century style. So I like to have it. It's a good conversation piece too. I have like a 3-people couch, and when I have dinners, we're mostly 4 or 5. So I added this chair, but also this ottoman. If you remove the books, you get to sit on it and talk. It's like a good conversation shape, I find. In the middle, you have a coffee table, and I liked the glass over it. Usually I'm not a big glass fan because it gets dirty very fast, but this one you can put books under it, which looks good, but at the same time it doesn't crowd the table too much. And I put like little candles. I have a mini cat right there, which is like a mini version of my cat that I love showing to people. I got it in Murano in Italy this year. On this side, I have the Besta piece from IKEA, which is amazing for storage. It's huge, but it doesn't look too big. And I have the frame TV, which I love. I find that it makes the whole living room. It's a room that we walk through a lot, and I thought that like a big black box didn't look too good, so I love the frame TV for that. I also have lighting from, it's called Luminaire Authentique. It's a Quebec company and they make custom lights. They have like a bunch of colors you can pick. And I have a small one in the living room and a bigger one in the library section. This is the second part of the living room. I call it the library, but it's mostly just an extension of the living room. I have the most comfortable couch in the world here that I love to read books in. My cat usually goes in the window when I read and we can just cuddle and read. It's green, which I didn't know if it was the best color for the place, but I had it before. So I just put a blanket over it and I find that it makes it easier. I also made some like custom cushions. I made one here and one in the living room. It has the yellow from the chair and some green from this chair, so I find that it ties the places together pretty well. I also have a pretty big library, I find. I keep adding to it. It used to be just the 2 middle shelves, and every year I add one. I love reading, so I love showcasing the books, and it's pretty colorful. I also keep my record player here for when I have company or whenever I want to listen to music too. I also made those shelves with my father recently. I found that it was pretty narrow for the cat to look outside. So we built it custom so it goes into the window. And it's also a good place to put like flowers or books on. This is my credenza. It used to be in my bedroom when I lived in a smaller apartment, but it doesn't fit right now. You'll see later. It's too small. So I use it here. I put some storage in it. It's pretty good. It's from Wayfair, which I didn't know, but they make some pretty good quality pieces. This is hardwood. So I like it. It fits the style of the home. And up to the living room, we're going to my office. You'll see here, I love putting images of my family members over the light switches. It's a bit random, but I find that usually we try to hide them, and I don't want to put emphasis on them, but putting something over them, you see it all the time when you close the lights, and you think of your family. I love it. There's another one in the living room over there.
Hey guys, it's Ty and Cassidy from the Art of Interiors team. Before we continue with more of this apartment tour, we wanted to share something that has been a real lifesaver for us when it comes to keeping our team fueled during the busy days.
This segment is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Starting the year right for us definitely includes simplifying our weeknight dinners, and HelloFresh has been such a great solution for that. What we love most is the amount of time it saves us.
After a long day of filming and editing, the last thing we want to do is spend hours at the grocery store. Having all the fresh, seasonal ingredients delivered right to our door is a game changer. Plus, the meals are easy to make.
Recently, we tried their super quick chicken chow mein with carrots, and it truly lived up to its name because it was super quick to make. It only took us about 15 minutes.
It's been great knowing we can enjoy a homemade meal without the usual hassle. We also appreciate the cost certainty because you know exactly what you're paying for upfront. And HelloFresh helps reduce food waste by only sending you the ingredients you need, which aligns with our values.
Get up to 20 meals for free, plus free sides for life and free shipping on your first order at hellofresh.ca with the code AOI. Offer is for new and returning subscribers who have been canceled for more than 270 days. That's 20 free meals plus free sides for life at hellofresh.ca with the code AOI.
This is my office. It's where I work when I work from home. It's pretty small, but I find it super comfortable. It's separated from the rest of the house, so I don't see my work all the time. It's very close to the balcony, so in the summer I can just open the door and there's a breeze. I put some shelves in. I like my office to be a bit overcrowded with stuff. I find it inspiring and it boosts my creativity. Put some images, books, magazines. I also put my Lego collections. I started doing Legos during COVID and I liked it. I kept it on. So I have flowers and I have a little street that I'm making. I'm gonna keep adding to it. So I wanna eventually fill the whole shelves. The shelves lead to the staircase. It's open. I don't know if it was originally like that, but I find that it's a good styling opportunity. I put some plants, which are fake plants because I don't water my plants often enough. And I also have like my traveling books. So this is my balcony. I recently redid it last year. It wasn't up to code and it was a bit dangerous because old balconies usually are lower. And I was worried when my friends and I were outside. You can't really see it now because it's winter, but in the summer it's super comfortable. There's 2 chairs. We can just have a drink and people watch. And here we have, this is interesting, I find. It's a photograph of the neighborhood in, I think, 1923. It's around the year that the house was built. And you see it here. This is we call it carrière in French. It's a quarry, I think. And right now it's one of the biggest parks in Montreal. I didn't even know it was like that before. But it's on the street Rue des Carrières, which makes sense now that I know. And you see the house. I won't show you because I don't want you to know exactly where I live. But around it, there's not much, which is funny because right now it's like super dense and built. When you walk off the office, you're looking at the closet, which is my only closet, but it's super big. It connects to the one at the front. I won't show you inside. Right now, it's basically my Monica closet for people who know friends. It's a huge mess, but it used to be a hallway, so it's super long and not too narrow. I can fit everything in it. When you walk off the living room, you go into the second part of the apartment, which is the kitchen and the bedroom, but you walk through the restroom. You can come in. I have a washer and dryer, which is not full size, but for one person, it's perfect. And I didn't do much to the bathroom. I painted the vanity. I found that it was beige and a lot of things were beige in the bathroom. I painted it blue. So yeah, it's pretty basic as a bathroom. I put some prints on just to add some personality, but that's it. Welcome to my kitchen. When I first moved here, it was very different. It was all white, but I decided to make some changes. Even though I was on a budget, I didn't want to change like the cabinetry, but I did change the counters and I did the backsplash. I did it myself, so you should not look for more than like 20 seconds, but it was a way to save some money to do it myself. And I also changed the hardware. It's very easy to do and pretty inexpensive. It's granite, so it's the same as the counter. It links them together. But you can just pick like basic ones and it makes a big difference from the original ones. I also made that shelf. It was super simple. It's like a 4x1 plank of wood that I put some molding over. I find that it looks more tidy when everything's together on one shelf, and I can display the little things that I buy on vacation or that I use pretty often. I also like having a little lamp in the kitchen when you cook at night. It makes it way cozier. I got this bar from IKEA. It's actually a standing desk, but I thought it was like the perfect height. It added some warmth with the wood because everything was pretty much gray and white. And I like cooking on it when I have guests. They can sit there and I can cook with them. I also have lighting that I bought vintage. This used to be in a church in Montreal. It brings vintage in a more modern room. I also have a dishwasher. I'm super grateful to have a dishwasher and a washer and dryer. Washers and dryers in Montreal are pretty common, but dishwasher, I'm super lucky to have one. Even though it's small, it's perfect for 1 or 2 people. This is a shelf I made. I talked about it in the living room earlier, but I made that with my father custom so that my cat can use it. He actually uses the plant to step over it, which is not perfect. I got those custom curtains to hide the thermopump, which is outside. I have another balcony. This is more of a fire exit, but I keep my barbecue on it. In Montreal, we have alleyways in most streets, especially in Rosemont and the Plateau. Kids play outside in the summer. It's really nice. There's a good community aspect of it. So right off the kitchen, there's my bedroom. You can come in. So the room is pretty small. I didn't have a lot of options on where to put the bed. I could either put it centered like it is or in the corner, but I like a centered bed. I didn't have a choice to put it under the window, and at the beginning I wasn't sure, but it ends up being super cozy. During the summer I can open the window and I have the breeze. Since it is a small space, I wanted to have it look super cozy. So I painted the walls yellow, which is super relaxing. And I added shelves with art that I got from Prince Edward Island on vacation and a photograph of my mom during her prom. I like adding like flowers, little lamps in my bedrooms. It makes it more comfortable. My uncle actually made those lamps. I found the shades at a market and they were super small, so I wanted custom lamps to fit them. He made 2 for me. It brings a super warm light when I read at night. When I want to have movie nights, I actually have a really small projector that I put on the bed and project on the wardrobe. The wardrobe was there when I moved in and it's like pretty simple white. So it's perfect for watching movies at night. There's also a big rug that I put. It makes it more comfortable when you wake up and it hides the fake wood that I have on the floor. I also have blackout curtains. Since I'm close to my neighbors, it's good for privacy and it completely blocks the light in the morning. So that's it. That's my bedroom. It's really comfortable and I find that's the most important thing of a bedroom. The house is 100 years old. Actually, it turned 100 when I moved in. I liked being part of its history. It used to be a worker's house, so it was probably a big family that lived there. This is why they made double living rooms. It was probably a kid's bedroom and they could fit like 6, 7, 8 kids in here. The current layout is in the original one. As I said earlier, the hallway was turned into a closet. I found that it's a good way to transition a space. It was probably very closed off before, and now without being an open concept, because I'm not a fan of open concepts, it's still separate rooms, but you can talk to your friends even though they're in different places of the house. So it's interesting when you compare floor plans, like the first one, which is I think the way it used to be made, I'm not 100% sure, compared to this one. And then even in the future, if there was, let's say, a kid living here, the living room could become a bedroom. With the prices of the rents and the housing crisis that we have right now in Montreal, and I think all over North America, it's a good way to have like a smaller space that you can change with time. It makes it easier to evolve with your house. Thank you for coming over. I really enjoyed showing you my house and I hope you come in Montreal pretty soon. Bye, see you next time.